Well, having pastored for most of my adult life, I can tell you that pastoring a church is a hard job. And if you're like most people that are part of a church, you want to do something to honor your pastor. Well, the best time to do that is Pastor Appreciation Month. And in this video, we want to break down 6 ideas that will bless your pastor's socks off. And stay tuned to the end because I'm going to share with you one gift that I received on more than one occasion that I would have rather not got as a pastor appreciation gift. Let's do this. Well, hey guys, my name is Thomas Costello. I'm with Reach Right, and we put out new content like this each and every week. So if this is the kind of thing that interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Well, Pastor Appreciation Month, it happens every year in the month of October. Specifically, there's actually a Pastor Appreciation Day, which always happens on the second Sunday of that month of October. And whether you appreciate your pastor anytime in the month or on that specific day, we wanted to give you some great ideas that you can take to your church to really bless your pastor. But before we get into that, I wanted to take a second just to dive into why pastors need to be appreciated. Pastor Appreciation Month has been a thing since the mid-90s. Actually, Focus on the Family started the tradition, and by the mid-2000s, Hallmark actually started selling cards for people to appreciate their pastors, and with good reason. Pastors are some of the hardest working people that we know. And not only that, they have to deal with really tough assignments. As someone who's pastored churches for over 15 years, I can tell you that your pastor needs encouragement. They need your words of affirmation. They need your gifts. And it's not that anybody's doing the job for your affirmation or your gifts. It's just something that really goes a long way in helping people know that they're appreciated. And now these ideas are great whether you're a member of a church or you're part of a church leadership team, a board, or a church council who wants to really do something special for your pastor this year. Here's the first one. Give them a gift to their favorite restaurant. I gotta tell you, as a pastor, receiving a gift card to a restaurant that maybe would be a little bit of a stretch for me or something I didn't get to go to very often, it really would go a long way. Here's a little bonus tip. Offer free babysitting to go along with that if your pastors have young kids. That will really bless them. Also, make the gift card something that's really generous. Make it so that they don't have to supplement the meal with their own money. If they wanted to get appetizers, entrees, and maybe even a dessert, make sure your gift card covers all of that. The second thing that really made me feel special was being honored in service. Have a scheduled time that maybe he or she doesn't know about where people from within your leadership team can get up and share some things that are really heartfelt, a way that your pastor impacted them, or the way they have gone over and above to pastor the people within your church. I can tell you, as someone who's a natural deflector and doesn't like to hear these things about myself, in the end, it actually does kind of make me feel special, and I can tell you most pastors probably feel the same way. So take some time, don't go over the top, but really surprise him by honoring him in a church service. Number 3 is write a letter of appreciation. This is a great idea for people that are members of a church, and it's something that doesn't cost you anything, but actually having a heartfelt letter that you can share with your pastor that he can read on his own time about the things that you've done and the impact that you've made in your life personally. There's really nothing that's more touching than that. The reason why almost every pastor, at least the good ones, do what they do is because they want to see people's lives changed by the power of Jesus Christ. And when you could put that into writing, whether in a letter or a card or something specific, it really is something that pastors may cherish for years to come. I know at the last church I pastored, one of the things that really blessed me was a giant vinyl banner that the church had printed out of me and my family. And every member of the church on a Sunday morning got in there and signed it, but didn't just write their names. They wrote something that really was heartfelt, some kind of a connection that we had. That really was an affirmation to me that encouraged me to continue doing what I was doing, and it really blessed me to hear it. The fourth idea is something that costs a little bit of money, but it is something that will really bless your pastors, and that is helping them take part in some kind of an event, whether it's something as simple as going to the movies or playing a round of golf, or maybe you live in a place that has theater tickets, or recently I heard of a church that gave their pastor an escape room pass where him and his family could go and do an escape room together. They had an absolute blast doing that. You know, experiences, especially ones that we wouldn't typically do on our own, they are things that really become memorable, and pastors will always remember the time that the church got them those escape room tickets, and it'll be something they can cherish. Think about some ways you can create some experiences for your pastor and his family together to enjoy, and I think that'll really help him feel blessed. Fifth is one that I loved, and I know that my family absolutely loved too, is pay for a service for your pastor pastors, such as house cleaning or yard care, just to be a blessing to them. Now, maybe you'd be tempted to say, okay, yeah, that would be a great idea. I can clean my pastor's house for them, or I can do my pastor's yard. I just want to dispel that myth. That's actually something that in a lot of cases would not be something that your pastor would appreciate. I know that with my family, having someone come into our home and do some of our cleaning, while I understand the heart behind it would be right, it might be a little hard for us. We might feel the need to kind of pre-clean the house and might worry what people might think of us a little bit by how dirty certain areas might be and how it might be different from your house. So resist the temptation to do these things yourself. In just about any size town, you can find cleaning services and yard care companies and other services around the house. What if you got your pastor a gift card for that? Or you just went out and paid for one full cleaning? What a load off that could be to him, and I guarantee you that he would be blessed by it. Now, the sixth and final one, and one that I really love, but I have to caution you, it might cost a little bit more money, is investing in a getaway or a vacation for your pastors. This is probably one that people within the church will have to pool together on. It's not something for every church, and I find that usually this is a great gift for certain milestone years. So maybe your pastor has been serving your church for 10 or 20 or 25 years. A vacation or a getaway for a weekend is a great way to bless their pastor. I know one pastor, after his 25 years in service, the church came together and raised thousands of dollars to send them on a trip into Europe for 2 weeks. They biked all around and had an absolute blast, and their church loved them so much to do something so special for them. Now, I'm sure there were all kinds of naysayers in the church who felt maybe that was too extravagant, but in the end, I really think that pastoring is a hard enough job, and after 25 years, I think that really is an appropriate kind of a gift for a church. One other bit of advice I have for you with all of these ideas is don't feel like you have to only do this for your lead pastor. Youth pastors and worship pastors and children's pastors and business administrators within your church all work very hard, and I think these kinds of things would bless each and every one of them. Now, I promised you that I would share with you the one thing that I really didn't like receiving as a pastor, and I have a hunch that just about every pastor would agree with me on this. That one thing is your favorite Christian book. Now, here's the thing. As a pastor, I have a reading list that is already longer than I can wrap my head around. And when you give me your favorite book, it may be a really great book, but the fact is that I have a very long list of things that I'm planning to read already anyway. And your favorite book, in a lot of cases, is something that's just more of a burden than it is something that would be a blessing to me, because each time I see you, I'm going to remember, oh, I still haven't read that book that Joe gave me, and I don't want our relationship to be built on that. So I've received that a few times. I've even gotten books that I actually really liked from this, but there have been a few others that I didn't even really bother reading more than a few pages of. And I appreciate the heart that the person had in giving it to me. I just didn't feel like it was something that was the blessing that they intended for it to be. On top of that, I know that sometimes people give you books outside of Pastor Appreciation Month to try and push the church in a certain direction that maybe they want to see the church go. Or maybe books are given as a way of indirectly saying, hey, we need to make some improvements in this way. But I'd love to know what you think about this. If you're the kind of pastor that has received books for Pastor Appreciation and loves it, let me know down in the comments. If you're with me on that, which I suspect a lot of you will be, let me know about that too. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.